All right, what's going on, y'all? So welcome back to the seems like this channel is all about letting go these days. And really, actually, it's probably one of the best masculine developments that you can make. Stoicism, I'm on that walk too, being a lot more stoic, a lot more relaxed, hard to rattle, right? And it is a journey because you have to let go of you have to let go, right? So I want to talk about one specific emotion that you guys have to let go of, because many of you get trapped when she texts you, when she calls you. You're like, I fall back into missing her when she messages me, because you mentally go back to when you guys were in a relationship together. And that was that was part of the routine of being in a relationship. So the biggest one that you guys have to deal with is desire. Now, this is backwards, but I just told you what it was. The emotion associated with desire is craving, right? And then the process, what you're going to be feeling, is enslavement. So, why am I talking about this one desire? Why am I talking about this one emotion and this one level of consciousness, which is desire? You're going to be bouncing through the levels of consciousness as you move through life. It's actually a natural part of us to be able to let go of traumas and to let go of things, because you have to do it in order to survive. If you were completely and utterly controlled by every emotion that you had, you wouldn't be able to live a very good life. So we sort of had to have this natural inclination to get over things. But since we're so distracted, because I think when we get over things, we do it best when we're in our bodies, when we're listening, when we're meditating, when we're one with God. So when you think that way, you can go, everything's going to be okay, and you jump right back up into the neutrality process. But people are so distracted, and they're so constantly living in fear, and then in lower red levels, okay? The lower red levels, apathy, fear, and grief. When you live there all the time, you can't get over things so easy because you're just living down in the negativity. So desire is a nasty one, because you're craving her. You're craving the relationship to go back to the way that it used to be. You're projecting your interest and your love onto her, hoping that she's going to feel the same way as you. And that's avoiding the actual reality of what's going on in life and right now in the present moment, which is she is not interested in you. So I get questions all the time. What do I do when she messages me? What do I do when we have kids? What do I do with this? What do I do with that? You have to let them go. Assume the breakup is happening. That is one of the best ways for you to start letting go and start seeing the actual result of them trying to come back and trying to tuck to you. Because energetically, on an energetic level, when you are trying to get them to come back, right? Imagine like magnets, like you're repelling, right? So you're trying to move and she's like, no, bro. But when you do it right, it'll work. The point is, at the end of the day, I'm not telling you guys to take your exes back. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you how to get that to happen so that you can choose whether you want that person back in your life or not. Some of you don't. I never did. I'm not going to tell you to take your exes back. A lot of people think that's what I'm trying to tell you to do. Actually, a lot of people will look at the title of this video and watch like a minute and then comment down below. I think there should be you have to watch 5 minutes of the video to be able to comment. I wish that was a feature that I could install, because so many of you are like, no, she ain't gonna call. No, this won't happen. Because you're so, again, you're fucking focused on what you want to hear and what you want to see. But I promise you, if you let go of your desire for her, you let go of your craving for the relationship, you see it for what it is, you separate yourself from the emotion. And let's talk about that for a minute. Your emotion is not you. You are not an emotional, actual, like your being, your soul, your energy, your spark, your light is not an emotion. Okay? Your emotions are separate from your actual, what you are. What you are, right? You are actually separate from that. But you've been conditioned and you've been told, you've been lied to, you have not been trained properly to know that when you have an emotion, people feel like this is the way it is, right? So they're like, I am sad. I am fearful. See, I don't even like saying it because I don't even like telling my subconscious mind about anything like that. But I digress. I'm a teacher. This is what people do. Instead of saying, I feel sad or I feel angry, I feel lust, right? Really what you're doing is you're lusting for that person to go back to the way that, instead of accepting what the situation is, okay? Accepting is up here. So acceptance is right here. Forgiveness and transcendence. You're going to transcend out of the red into the yellow and then into the green and into blue. That is where you're going to become the most powerful version of yourself, because you're going to be able to let go and work on you. So when all the gurus and coaches say, focus on you and focus on yourself, focus on your energy, find your purpose, work on your purpose, that is all they're telling you to do, okay? Go up to acceptance. See, this is where you want to live, mostly in green and blue. 80% of the time, the 80-20 rule. Apply the 80-20 rule to this. Most people are 80-20 rule in the red. And you want to be 80-20 in the blue. And you're going to... This is where I live right now, okay? And I don't say this to brag. I'm saying this because this is the transcendence that I've had. I've transformed, okay? So basically, I used to live my life 80-20 in the red. 80% in the red, 20% in the green and blue. Maybe, right? Maybe it was 90-10. Then I said, okay, I'm looking at my life. I need to change. So my relationships were crap. I was... Actually, the truth is, I was crappy in those relationships. I was a crappy employee. So I was a crappy boyfriend, a crappy employee, just a bad human. I wasn't, like, hurting anybody, but I wasn't living my truth at all. I was a liar. I was just not good, okay? So once I started trying to live in the green, so green is where things will start changing for you, okay? Green begins with courage, and then it goes courage, neutrality, and willingness, right? But courage is the beginning. That's where you must start living. That's why when you start going to the gym, you're doing a courageous thing. It's easy to lay on your couch and go, I'm a piece of shit, fuck me, right? Woe is me. And speaking of woe is me, that is where these energies lie, the red. So shame, guilt, apathy, fear, grief, okay? Those are inward energies. Those are energies that you're going to be dealing with inside. I am depressed, or I feel depressed. I am depressed. I'm sad. I'm this, I'm that, right? Anger, pride, desire are outward energies. So you're like, I want that person. I want this. I'm angry, and you're going outwards to seek your happiness again. Okay? That is where you are going to, again, you're going to suffer, but it's better than being in the red. Because when you're apathetic, you're like, what's the point? I'm numb. I don't feel anything. I'm depressed. Despair. Despair is the main feeling you get when you're there. And you're going to be like, oh, life is the worst. That's what you're going to feel like. And if you look around at society, you're going to notice that. That's a major, major thing people are dealing with. But anyway, the one thing I wanted to speak about the most was, again, desire and craving. Because people are so wrapped up in getting to the relationship to go back to where it was, and you have to accept that that's not where it is right now. That is the main thing you have to separate from. People are having a hard time doing this. It's almost like there's crazy glue keeping you here, and over time it will come apart on its own, because like I told you, we have a natural inclination to start getting over things, but at the same time, people do hold on to baggage. So you're going to have to do this and accept that you are here. Right now, this woman is not interested in having a committed relationship with you and giving you her full feminine. Accept that. When you fully accept that and you're ready to let her go and you're ready to move on, why is that always when they call you? When I say these titles and when I put those things in the thumbnail, that's what I'm telling you. They call you when you don't care. They call you when it doesn't matter anymore to you. And then from there, you're like, what now, bitch? You know what I mean? Like, so you get angry at them for doing that. That's not, you shouldn't be angry at them for doing that. Women want to be around people that are here. Okay? Even if they themselves are down here. They're going to seek people that are better than them. Same with dudes. Dudes do the same thing, but not really realizing it. Women do it way more, but dudes will do the same thing. People in general don't want to be around negative people. That's the truth. But women want to go out with men that they can look up to. And if you're craving the relationship, you're sitting here all the time, you're craving the relationship, you're going to go, huh. Well, she's going to go, if he's craving the relationship this much, texting me, calling me, all worried, even energetically behind the scenes, she's not going to want to come back to you. She's going to be like, take it or leave it. That's when they get they get more interested in other people. Well, at the end of the day, she's going to go, if he's so desperate to have this relationship back to the way it was, he can't really live without me, which means he is not the guy that I'm looking for. Again, women want to look up, like, the person or the attitude she's going to be most attracted to after a breakup is the guy who says, there's the door. Okay? There's the fucking door. That's what you want. Show her the door. But what you're dealing with when you do that is good old fear. That's what you're dealing with. Fear. Because you're like, I'm not going to find anybody else. People aren't going to love me for me. Not the same way she did. Meanwhile, most of you, a lot of you, are not dealing with your first breakup. And I want you to ask yourselves, do you still think about your ex? Not your ex that you're dealing with the breakup right now. Do you think about the person you were with before? Anybody who that applies to? And you guys are all going to come up with the excuse, oh, we had this great connection. Oh, I've never felt that way before. Yeah, you have. You just feel this right now. I just spat everywhere. You feel this relationship right now, so it feels different. But it's not. Love is love, but there might be more things you connect with this person about. But when I was in those relationships, going through those breakups, they hurt. I remember them. We think, oh, yeah, that person's old, right? We get over them. We get over that idea. So you guys don't remember that it was that intense that it feels like right now. And you'll make excuses saying, we have a way better connection, Kyle, I swear. At the end of the day, the person is not choosing you anymore. And because of that, you're dealing with desire. Okay? You're dealing with desire. You're dealing with people. You're dealing with craving. You're dealing with craving the most. And when you crave something and you feel like you're not, the feeling is going to hit you like, we are not, your body and your brain and your emotions are going to go, we are not okay without this. So when it comes to goals, right, you guys might try, I did this, you guys might try to apply the idea of goals to desire. You can go and do things. You can go and set goals and take actions, take the right actions. Hence, if you upload 1,000 blog posts in a specific niche, with specific keywords over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to make money. You'll probably make 10 grand a month doing that. Speaking of that, I have a course coming out. So the point is, you can take actions that will still project you forward, but you can't be attached to what those actions are going to bring you. You just do things. And yeah, if money comes, it comes, and it will. That's why people can't get rich, because they don't understand the idea of giving value at scale. When I talk to people who are like working jobs, right? We talk about the whole idea of value. And they're like, I'm like, okay, how much value are you bringing to society? I already know the answer. And they're like, well, like none. I'm like, you deserve to get paid nothing then. You're valuable to your employer. You're valuable to your family. They don't pay you to be alive. Who are you bringing value to? How many people are you bringing value to, which is the scale part? And YouTube and Google and Facebook kind of can provide you with audiences to give to. So really, this is all a giving thing and giving energy. And I'm talking about this because I want you guys to really increase your individual lives. And really what that means is take your energies, don't stop living in the red, living in fear, grief, apathy, and start living in blue. So when you start living in blue, you're going to go, okay, I'm going to take these actions and I'm not going to be fearful of them. I'm going to be neutral. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be trustworthy that it's all going to work out for me. That is what people who are already wealthy do. Even if they, like, most millionaires are self-made, okay, most of them. And most of them, after they already have money, make way more. And it's because they live up here. They're going to go, okay, I'm going to start listening, and then they create networks with other people who are up there. Why do you think rich people, wealthy people, high top shelf people don't hang out with people who are in the red? Because they have nothing to offer. They have no value energetically. The same thing goes with relationships. If a man gets complacent, okay, and then he gets fearful, he's going to be hanging out down here. And the relationship started out up here. That's why the first 6 months, year of a relationship can sit up here, and then it slowly comes back down. And then, for example, she's with you, right? She's with you for, let's say, 2 or 3 years. The last 6, 7, 8 months, you get complacent, you get lazy, and she starts getting, emotional about it. The guy starts living in this area. A lot of guys had this issue with COVID. They lost their jobs, and they were like, okay, like what do I do? And since they had no skills, they were fearful they're going to lose their jobs. They're fearful that they were going to lose their ability to pay rent, which is a huge major fear. But when you are able to have when you have a lot of skills, like I do, when you have a lot of skills in your head and you're like, okay, if I lost everything, I would be right back where I am a year or two from now. That's because I'm confident in my skills. But most of the guys that I spoke to during the COVID, especially when COVID was at its peak and places were like locked down, masks and shit, like people were really, really apathetic and fearful. And they were unwilling to go learn a new skill online. I told them, get into blogging, start a YouTube channel, do something, because in a year or two, you're going to start making more money than you probably did at your job. And if not, it'll be close. Especially if you do it right with the right mentorship. So they stopped, they all they did was like sit on the couch, and their girlfriends all wanted to leave. You know how many calls I had during the COVID peak, guys? Like really, like so many of the guys were living down here in fear. Apathy, grief. Oh, I lost my job, the job that I've loved, and I wanted to have this increase. So at the end of the day, you guys can never be satisfied. And like, look, if you got like fucking millions of dollars in your bank account, that's different, right? Even if you had like 200,000, 300,000 in your bank account, you know what I mean? I know that sounds like a lot of money to you guys, but like you have that kind of money just sitting there, which is a stupid move, to be honest. You should be making that money work for you. But a couple of people I know, they have a good chunk in their bank accounts because they just want to have that. And then they have like millions working for them, investments, digital assets, shit like that. And even like really like high top shelf people will have like way more working for them. It's almost like they take loans because you can have tax breaks or like pay no tax on loans. And that's what the money they'll use to supplement their life. And they put all of their money to work for them. It's just like this big thing. I'm getting into that. I'm new to that shit. So don't take my fucking advice on that. But at the end of the day, guys, it's really important for you to understand desire and craving with your relationships so that you can learn to let them go. Like magnetically, energetically, you're going to be repelling her every day that you're craving for her back. Okay? Oh my God, I can't wait to talk. When she messages you, you get right back into that emotional state. It's just bad. It's no good. You're never going to get anywhere that way. When you fully let go and just accept the situation for what it is. Oh, we broke up. She no longer is choosing me. She stopped choosing me. When you accept that and you go, okay, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to focus on my own energy. And that just means going from red to green. Think about what that means for you. Some guys go to the gym. Some guys focus on finances. Some guys focus on, getting things better with their family. Getting out of red, going to green. If you're in yellow, it goes red, yellow, green. If you're in yellow, you have a lot of anger. You have a lot of, right, outward energy, you're pushing, then you can go from, it's easier to go from yellow to green because it's just closer, right? So that's it for this video. Desire is a bitch because you want that relationship so bad, your energy is not going to match. You're always going to repel them that way. And that is why whenever you move on, right, that's when they call every time. And it's because you stopped desiring, you stopped craving them. They'll call, they'll show up, they'll text you, hey, how are you? That's why you got to let go. Coaching's down below, everything's down below. I'll talk to you guys soon. Course is coming out soon. If you have any questions about that, about how I make my cash monies, email me. Everything's down below, how to contact me, Instagram as well. And if you want to message me on WhatsApp, go to masculineenergy.net/coaching and you'll see a little WhatsApp button in the bottom right, maybe bottom left corner. I don't fucking know. Use your eyes and hit that and you'll be able to message me. Okay. Done.